The Young and the Restless is setting Genoa City on fire this week with jaw-dropping revelations, dangerous confrontations, and tangled romances that will leave fans speechless. As Noah Newman's bandages come off, a flood of memories returns, including his secret make-out session with Sienna. Terrified Sharon and Nick will find out. Noah tries to hide the truth, but the guilt is eating him alive. Meanwhile, Nick's patience runs out when he comes face-to-face with Mitch, or is it Matt Clark? One brutal punch later, the truth behind Mitch's stolen identity may finally explode. Elsewhere, Holden drops shocking confessions about his past with Audra, leaving Claire caught in the middle of love, loyalty, and lies. Kyle's jealousy ignites as Claire's heart shifts, while Victor quietly makes a secret power move that could shake up everything. And just when you think it can't get crazier, a stunning theory surfaces. Could Audra be Matt Clark's long-lost daughter? With a stolen $500,000, murder suspicions, and emotional chaos everywhere, November in Genoa City promises heartbreak, betrayal, and passion at every turn. Don't blink, the next episodes will change everything. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. Genoa City rocked, secrets surface as Noah recovers, love hangs in the balance for the Abbotts, and a mother's instinct guides Claire. Genoa City is reeling from a whirlwind of emotion and high-stakes drama as the lives of its most prominent families intertwine with revelations, confrontations, and the enduring quest for love. The events of Thursday, November 6, 2025, have left viewers breathlessly anticipating what comes next, as hidden truths threaten to shatter relationships and expose dark dealings. Nick's fury unleashed, a father's desperation and a web of deceit. The day exploded with a volatile confrontation that underscored the depths of Nick Newman's desperation as a father. Tormented by his son Noah's mysterious accident, Nick took matters into his own hands, tracking down Matt Clark. The encounter at the Shadow Room was swift and brutal. Nick, consumed by a protective fury, physically assaulted Matt, punctuating his punch with a vehement warning to stay away from his family. Sienna, Matt's wife, was caught in the crossfire, witnessing the bewildering attack. Her husband, feigning ignorance, claimed no knowledge of Nick Newman or any reason for the assault. However, Sienna's instincts were immediately piqued. The powerful and affluent Nick Newman didn't strike her as someone who would resort to violence without cause. Her mounting suspicions about Matt's true identity, fueled by Nick's insistent use of the name Matt Clark, began to unravel the carefully constructed facade her husband had maintained. Back at the hospital, Nick recounted the confrontation to Sharon, solidifying his conviction that Matt Clark was undeniably linked to Noah's accident. The chilling detail that Noah's crash occurred near Sienna and Matt's home, combined with a detective's previous conversation with Sienna, cemented Nick's belief in Matt's culpability. He vowed to protect Sharon from this dangerous individual, reinforcing the ominous threat that Matt Clark poses to the Newman family. Noah's recovery, a glimmer of hope, clouded by a shocking revelation. The hospital provided a moment of immense relief for Nick and Sharon as Noah's facial bandages were finally removed. Despite some bruising and scars, Noah's face was revealed, bringing tears of joy and renewed hope to his parents. Sharon lovingly reassured him of his beauty, while Nick lightened the mood with a characteristic quip, comparing him to Frankenstein rather than Quasimodo. The thought of Allie's unwavering love brought comfort, but a subtle shift in Noah's demeanor did not escape Sharon's therapist's eye. Before the bandage removal, the tension surrounding Noah's amnesia had been palpable. He pleaded with his parents for answers, feeling they were withholding crucial information about the accident and the mysterious security detail assigned to his room. After consulting with the doctor, who advised incremental honesty and the presence of a psychologist, Sharon confidently stepped into the role, leveraging her own therapeutic expertise to guide the conversation. With his face uncovered, Noah admitted to missing Allie but redirected the conversation back to the questions his parents had discussed with the doctor. When confronted with the names Sienna and Mitch, Noah confirmed their connection to his burgeoning club venture in Los Angeles, recalling meeting Mitch in London and their joint plans for expansion. He expressed surprise that they had visited the hospital, prompting Nick and Sharon to reveal that Sienna had contacted them after finding Noah's phone. This led to another unsettling detail: Noah had been secretly traveling to LA for months. His explanation that he wanted to surprise his parents with a successful club launch rang hollow amidst the growing pile of secrets. Then, a pivotal moment, Noah asked if Sienna and Mitch had mentioned his presence at the club on the night of the accident. A vivid flashback flooded his mind: a passionate kiss and embrace with Sienna in the club, a memory he instantly recognized as incriminating. In a desperate act of self-preservation, Noah lied, feigning fatigue and claiming no recollection of the night's events. Nick, observant and perceptive, noted Noah's evasiveness and left the room, his own memory casting Sienna in a suspicious light, recalling her attempts to orchestrate a unified story among her staff about the night of the accident. The weight of Noah's hidden truth now hangs heavy, threatening to unravel more than just the mystery of his crash. Love's urgent call, Kyle's journey to redemption. At the Abbott mansion, a different kind of drama unfolded, centered on the precarious state of Kyle's relationship with Claire. Harrison's innocent joy over Claire's positive response to his costume served as a poignant backdrop to Kyle's evident heartache. Diane, ever the champion of love, immediately sensed Kyle's suffering and urged Jack to intervene. Their discussion in the dining room revealed Jack's concern for Allie, who was struggling with Noah's situation, but also his acknowledgement of Kyle's pain. Diane's bold suggestion that Kyle abandon his post at Chabot and return to LA to fight for Claire initially met with Jack's pragmatic resistance. He reminded her of their explicit request for Kyle to return to Genoa City to defend Chabot against Victor Newman's machinations. Diane, however, deftly countered, asserting that Kyle could always return if and when Victor made a move, prioritizing her son's happiness above corporate battles. Upon Kyle's return, he eagerly inquired about Victor's potential attacks on Chabot, only to be met with an unexpected and unified front from his parents. They confessed to a mistake in demanding his return, insisting that his true calling was to fight for the woman he loved. Kyle, unsure of Claire's willingness to reconcile, expressed doubt, but Diane's impassioned plea about the bitterness of regret resonated deeply. Both Jack and Diane offered their unwavering support, pushing Kyle to act decisively. Despite Kyle's initial desire for time to ponder, his parents' forbiddance of delay, coupled with Diane's direct question about his love for Claire, elicited a heartfelt affirmation. With gratitude for their concern, Kyle ascended the stairs to pack, embarking on a journey fueled by love and hope, leaving the future of his relationship with Claire uncertain but his determination clear. Claire's crossroads, an adventure's end and a future undecided. In the sun-drenched cafe of an LA hotel, Victoria and Claire engaged in a heart-to-heart that illuminated Claire's evolving perspective on life and love. Victoria, relieved by news of Noah's recovery, could finally breathe easy and focus on her daughter. Claire, in turn, shared insights from her nice, relaxing time with Holden. Her LA adventure had been transformative, prompting her to critically examine her desires and aspirations. While she harbored no regrets and was grateful for the experience, she wondered if she had gone a little too wild. Victoria, ever the protective mother, directly questioned Holden's influence. Claire, however, asserted her autonomy, acknowledging that every choice had been her own. She spoke of her decision to shed her observer status and fully immerse herself in life, but also expressed reservations about Holden's life on the edge lifestyle, noting that trouble seems to find him. Victoria, cutting straight to the chase, made it clear that her primary concern was her daughter's well-being, probing whether Claire had made any irreversible decisions. Claire's confident grin and assertion that she had not done anything she couldn't come back from reassured her mother. This trip, she explained, had led her to question her future path, and more significantly, with whom she wanted to share it. Holden, she concluded, was what she needed for a season, but he was not the one. The conversation naturally shifted to Kyle. Claire confessed her enduring love for him, acknowledging that a part of her would always cherish him. However, she candidly expressed her unreadiness for the level of commitment he desired, viewing marriage and cohabitation as too much, too quickly. Victoria, understanding and supportive, urged Claire to communicate these feelings to Kyle without delay. Their discussion then veered to lighter topics, reminiscing about coal and publishing, with Claire expressing a desire to forge her own path outside the Newman corporate ladder, seeking her mother's pride above all else. Victoria, her eyes gleaming with affection, took her daughter's hand, affirming her profound pride. As Claire prepared to depart, a happy coincidence occurred. Holden appeared, announcing his own return to Genoa City and offering to share a ride to the airport. The implications of this shared flight and continued proximity remain to be seen, adding another intriguing layer to Claire's already complex return. The unfolding drama: a city holds its breath. Genoa City stands on the precipice of seismic shifts. Noah's concealed memory of Sienna, combined with Nick's growing certainty of Matt Clark's malicious involvement, promises a dangerous collision course for the Newman family. Kyle's desperate journey to LA, fraught with uncertainty, will test the resilience of his love for Claire, who herself is navigating newfound self-awareness and a hesitant heart. As secrets unfurl and allegiances are tested, the intertwined destinies of Genoa City's most iconic families hang precariously in the balance, leaving viewers eagerly awaiting the next chapter of this captivating saga. Today's next update. Genoa City explodes, Holden's dark past exposed, Nick's rage unleashed, and Noah's memory gap deepens the mystery. Genoa City is once again a hotbed of intrigue and high-stakes drama as long-buried secrets resurface, tempers flare, and a perplexing accident continues to unravel. On Wednesday, November 5, 2025, viewers witnessed a shocking confession, a violent confrontation, and a deepening mystery that promises to keep them on the edge of their seats. Holden's haunting past, a revelation for Claire. The serene setting of Claire's hotel room was shattered by a gripping confession from Holden, who finally revealed the dark history he shares with Audra. Transporting Claire back to his bartending days at the Shadow Room, before his association with Damien, Holden recounted his entanglement with Audra, then known as Audra Cortez, a frequent patron. He painted a vivid picture of Audra's vulnerability when she appeared at the bar with a gallery owner who seemed intent on exploiting her. Holden intervened, protecting Audra from the man's advances, only to be threatened with termination by Mitch Bacall. However, the situation escalated dramatically when Audra, in a moment of desperate defiance, lifted the man's wallet before fleeing. Holden, driven by his disdain for controlling individuals, did not stop her. The aftermath was chaotic. The gallery owner, enraged, pursued Audra, setting off a chain of events that nearly ruined both their lives. The next day, Audra, fearing repercussions, sought Holden's help, asking him to return the wallet to the bar. But a crucial item was missing, a cashier's check for $500,000. Holden found himself embroiled, accused by the furious gallery owner of being complicit in the theft. Mitch Bacall's attempts to defend Holden proved futile, as the vengeful man vowed that Audra would pay. This, Holden believes, prompted Audra's sudden departure from the country. Claire's questions about the stolen check and the gallery owner's identity were met with evasiveness from Holden. He confessed that Audra later sent him $100,000 in cash as a thank you, a sum he kept, acknowledging that her downfall would also implicate him. The revelation left Claire stunned, hinting at the depths of Audra's manipulative nature and the complex web of secrets Holden has been carrying. Detective Burrows' interrogation, unraveling the night of Noah's accident. Meanwhile, at the Shadow Room, Detective Burrows was meticulously piecing together the events surrounding Noah's accident. His presence at the bar caught Mitch Bacall off guard, who tried to shush the detective's suggestive remarks about things not going as planned. The arrival of Sienna, whom Mitch introduced, brought her into the detective's line of questioning. Sienna recounted how Noah's parents were desperate for answers and how she had called Noah's phone, which led them to her. She explained her business venture with Noah as the reason for having his contact information. When Burrows pressed for details about Noah's departure time from the bar, Sienna bristled, sensing an accusation of involvement in the crash. The detective's swirling suspicions and Sienna's defensiveness painted a picture of a night shrouded in mystery, with many unanswered questions. Noah's amnesia, a troubling blank slate. At the hospital, Noah's recovery was overshadowed by a crucial memory gap. Reunited with Nick, Noah expressed his eagerness to have his bandages removed but admitted he couldn't remember anything about the accident. Nick, trying to shield his son from the harsher realities, simply told him it was a car accident, hoping Noah could provide details. Noah, apologetic, expressed his love for his parents, unaware of the deeper dangers lurking. In the waiting area, Sharon joined Victoria and Nikki, receiving an update from the doctor that Noah's memory loss was normal for his condition. While the family tried to maintain a facade of normalcy, teasing Noah about a family reunion, Nick's agitated departure hinted at his own urgent agenda. Privately, Sharon conveyed her distress to Nick about Noah's encounter with Matt Clark, urging him to seek answers. Nick, still trying to protect Nikki and Victoria, cautioned Sharon against sharing the unsettling details just yet. They speculated about Clark's endgame before Nick left, determined to uncover the truth. Nikki and Victoria, rejoining Sharon, expressed their hope that the detective was making progress, but Sharon voiced her frustration at his infrequent presence. Nikki, confident in Victor's ability to get to the bottom of things, remained unaware of Sharon's silent fears about Matt Clark's dangerous presence. A mother's worry and Nick's explosive confrontation. Later, at the hospital, Nikki and Victoria pressed Sharon about Nick's whereabouts, sensing her evasiveness. Sharon, maintaining her guarded stance, merely suggested Nick was being cautious. The conversation shifted to Claire and Holden, with Victoria voicing her deep concern about Holden's past and the potential for Claire to get in over her head. Meanwhile, back in Claire's room, Holden tried to divert her attention, suggesting she wanted the gallery owner's name to use against Audra. Claire, with a knowing grin, pretended not to have considered it. Holden, however, firmly refused to reveal the name, reiterating the $100,000 thank you he received from Audra and the shared risk of exposure. The climax of the day unfolded back at the Shadow Room. Detective Burrows, resuming his interrogation, pressed Sienna about her residence, to which Mitch, revealing his true colors, boomed, "Malibu Canyon." The detective noted the accident's proximity to their home, further intensifying the suspicion. Sienna attempted to deflect, suggesting Noah was going to see Mitch, who quickly countered that he was out of town. Burrows, having gathered enough information, departed. As Mitch questioned Sienna about Noah's accident occurring on their side of town, Nick Newman, who had been lurking in the shadows, emerged with explosive force. Without warning, he grabbed Mitch and delivered a forceful punch, leaving Sienna aghast. The raw violence of the confrontation brought the day to a shocking close, leaving viewers with a multitude of questions about Matt Clark's true identity, his involvement in Noah's accident, and the impending fallout from Nick's unrestrained fury. Today's next update. Genoa City brace for impact, Nick's rage explodes, Holden's dark past unveiled, and a deepening mystery surrounds Noah. Genoa City is poised for a week of explosive revelations, simmering tensions, and life-altering decisions as The Young and the Restless delivers a series of dramatic twists from November 10 to 14, 2025. Prepare for Nick Newman's volcanic fury, Holden Novak's bombshell confessions, and a deepening mystery surrounding Noah's accident that threatens to unravel Genoa City's most prominent families. Holden's past with Audra, a shocking confession. The week begins with Claire Grace Newman making her return to Genoa City, but not before Holden Novak decides to come clean about a significant secret he's been harboring concerning Audra Charles. Viewers will be transported back in time as Holden recounts his days as a bartender at the Shadow Room, a club owned by Sienna and Mitch Bacall. It was there he first encountered Audra, then known as Audra Cortez, a regular who would inadvertently draw him into a web of deceit. Holden's flashbacks reveal a chilling scene. Audra, accompanied by a creepy gallery owner, was clearly uncomfortable with the man's aggressive advances. Holden witnessed Audra steal the man's wallet, a desperate act of defiance. The next day, Audra enlisted Holden's help, asking him to falsely claim he found the wallet when the irate gallery owner returned, frantic over a missing $500,000 cashier's check. The man, convinced of Audra and Holden's complicity, threatened retribution. Mitch Bacall, however, stepped in to defend Holden, promising the gallery owner that Audra would pay. But by then, Audra had vanished from Los Angeles. Holden, stunned to later see her in Genoa City, assumed she successfully cashed the check. He reveals that Audra subsequently sent him a hefty $100,000, effectively buying his silence. It was after this incident that Audra moved to London and changed her last name from Cortez to Charles, where she later crossed paths with Noah Newman. Claire, intrigued by the possibility of exposing Audra, considers seeking out the gallery owner. However, Holden warns her that pursuing this path would also implicate him, effectively putting a lid on that line of investigation for now. The enigma of Noah's crash, a sketchy investigation. Detective Burrow, whose competence remains questionable, continues his investigation into Noah's mysterious car accident. He approaches Mitch Bacall at the Shadow Room, suggesting that things didn't work out as they planned, and asking about a new plan. Mitch quickly silences the detective as Sienna enters, informing her that Burrow is probing Noah's crash, a topic others have also inquired about. Sienna recounts Noah's departure from the club, claiming he paid his tab and left, and that she only called his phone later for an update, which Nick answered. Both Mitch and Burrow press Sienna on why she was calling Noah, a question she artfully dodges. When grilled about her whereabouts on the night of the accident, Sienna defensively asks if Burrow is accusing her of involvement. The detective maintains he's simply seeking answers, but the entire exchange remains deeply suspicious. Noah's amnesia and Nick's quest for vengeance. At the hospital, Noah awakens from his coma, eager for his bandages to come off, but with a troubling blank slate regarding the accident. Nick, trying to be reassuring, tells him the small scars will make him look tougher, and explains it was a single-car accident. Nikki and Victoria Newman are also at the hospital, learning from the doctor that Noah's memory lapse is normal and expected to return. Nick, consumed by a need for justice, confides in Sharon Newman his intention to confront Matt Clark, whom he suspects is behind Noah's accident. He believes Matt was using Noah to get to the Newmans. Nick plans to discreetly request security from Victor Newman, carefully avoiding mentioning Matt's name to prevent Victor from unleashing his full, unbridled rage. With Sharon's encouragement, Nick sets off to confront and threaten Matt. Sharon, meanwhile, keeps the explosive Matt Clark revelation from Nikki and Victoria, who are already discussing Noah's safety and the idea of bringing him home to recuperate. Their concerns about Claire getting in over her head with Holden highlight the pervasive anxieties within the family. Nick's fury unleashed, a ghost from the past. The brewing storm culminates as Nick stealthily enters the shadow room, eavesdropping on Detective Burrow's intense interrogation of Sienna. When Burrow presses for Sienna's address, Mitch, losing his composure, blurts out, "Malibu Canyon." The detective notes the proximity of their home to Noah's crash site, fueling his suspicions about Noah's potential visit to Mitch that night, a claim Mitch vehemently denies, stating he was out of town. After Burrow departs, Mitch expresses his unease to Sienna about the accident's location and his wife's evasiveness. Before Sienna can respond, Nick, his rage boiling over, rushes from his hiding spot and unleashes a brutal punch on Mitch, leaving Sienna in shock. Nick is now 100% certain that Mitch is indeed Matt Clark, the rapist who terrorized Sharon in the past. Upcoming drama: Kyle's confrontation, Lily's doubts, and Victor's attack. The week of November 6 promises further turmoil. Sharon may find herself in danger, intensifying Nick's fury after his confrontation with Matt. Diane Jenkins and Jack Abbott unite to support Kyle Abbott, likely concerning Claire. Noah will share his activities since his last appearance, leaving questions about his relationship with Eileen Gwynn. Later in the week, Lily Winters grows impatient with Kane Ashby's explanations and doubts his AI was stolen. Kyle confronts Claire upon her return to Genoa City, and the question of whether she'll reveal her closeness with Holden looms. Victor Newman prepares to launch an attack on Jack and Jabot using the stolen AI. Looking ahead to November 10th to 14th, Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti face renewed temptation. Victoria and Nate Hastings' friendship deepens, and Jack scrambles to defend Jabot. Phyllis Summers and Kane continue their volatile dance, while Claire finds herself deeply torn between Kyle and Holden, with many believing Holden currently has her heart. Victor is gleefully anticipating Jack's downfall, and Mitch will be forced to explain himself to Sienna as Nick and Sharon expose him as the despicable Matt Clark. Danny Romalotti and Christine Williams' wedding countdown continues, with a more mature, and possibly troubled, Noah Newman recast Lucas Adams, making choices that may lead him down a darker path. Today's next update. Genoa City shaken, Noah's secret liaison, Nick's violent threat, and a love triangle takes shape. Genoa City is reeling from a dramatic day of revelations, threats, and shifting romantic landscapes. Thursday, November 6, brought explosive confrontations, a shocking memory, and pivotal decisions that will undoubtedly send ripples through the lives of its most prominent families. Nick's fury unleashed, a deadly warning. The day's intensity peaked at the Shadow Room, where Sienna Bacall found herself caught between a seething Nick Newman and her husband, Mitch. Following Nick's forceful punch, Mitch attempted to play innocent, but Nick was beyond patience. His anger boiling over, Nick issued a chilling vow: he would kill Matt Clark if he dared to come near his family or anyone he held dear. After Nick stormed out, Mitch dismissed him as a crazy, suggesting he belonged in an institution. However, Sienna's instincts screamed otherwise. She couldn't believe someone of Nick's standing would resort to violence without significant cause. Her suspicions about Mitch's true identity and his motives for taking Noah under his wing deepened. Mitch, in turn, grew menacing, attempting to shut down Sienna's inquiries, but she refused to let go of the unsettling fact that Nick had punched her husband and called him by another name. Mitch's growing interest in the real connection between Noah and Sienna only fueled her doubts, even as she insisted it was merely a business arrangement he himself had championed. Sienna's persistent demands for the truth about Nick's accusations left Mitch increasingly cornered. Back at the hospital, Nick recounted the confrontation to Sharon Newman, confirming he had indeed socked Matt Clark and delivered his dire threat, despite Matt's continued Mitch charade. Noah's awakening, a hidden memory. Noah Newman's return from medical tests brought a wave of questions from his parents, who were cautiously withholding information about his crash. They awaited the doctor's approval before divulging what they knew. The moment of truth arrived as Noah's bandages were removed, revealing the face of Lucas Adams in the role, met with relief from Nick and Sharon. Sharon's mention of Eileen Gwynn elicited a strange expression from Noah. Despite her offer to connect with Allie, Noah insisted on doing it himself, hinting at a desire to control his narrative. He then faced a barrage of questions about the Shadow Room, Mitch, and Sienna. Noah revealed the Bacalls were assisting with his new LA club's logistics, and learned Sienna had called his phone. Sharon questioned his secret visits to Los Angeles, to which Noah offered a flimsy explanation about wanting to finalize his club plans before surprising them. The conversation turned to the crash site, near Sienna and Mitch's home. As Nick and Sharon probed for memories from that night, Noah experienced a vivid flashback, a passionate make-out session with Sienna at the club, pinning her against a wall. However, in a pivotal moment, Noah deliberately concealed this memory, leaving Nick with a suspicious look, sensing his son was holding back a crucial truth. Love and uncertainty, Kyle's quest, Claire's crossroads. At the Abbott house, Kyle Abbott found solace in a sweet text from Claire Newman, shared with Harrison before they departed for hockey. This allowed Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott a private moment, where Diane convinced Jack that bringing Kyle home was a mistake, given his heart still lay with Claire in LA. Later, Jack and Diane united to strongly urge Kyle to return to Los Angeles immediately. After some convincing, Kyle agreed to fight for love, heading upstairs to pack for his flight. Simultaneously, Claire was preparing for her own journey back to Genoa City. Before her flight, she met with Victoria Newman at a hotel cafe. Claire admitted to perhaps going a little too wild in LA but harbored no regrets about her experiences. However, she had gained clarity about Holden, hinting at her reluctance to embrace his life on the edge. It became clear that Holden wasn't the right partner for her. Victoria then broached the topic of Kyle. Claire confessed her love for him but admitted she wasn't ready for the commitment of marriage and living together that he sought. Victoria encouraged her to be honest with Kyle upon her return to Genoa City. Before Claire could leave, Holden unexpectedly appeared, announcing his own decision to return to Genoa City and presuming they'd share a flight. Claire's visible discomfort underscored her newfound realization that Holden was no longer her speed, setting the stage for a messy love life for the foreseeable future. Today's next update. Genoa City's Claire charts her own course, a bold choice in a shifting love triangle. Genoa City's beloved Claire Grace Newman has made a significant decision regarding her complex love life, a choice rooted in self-discovery and a desire for clarity. Following a romantic interlude with Holden, Tuesday, November 4th's episode of The Young and the Restless revealed Claire's path forward. Neither Holden nor Kyle currently hold the key to her heart, as she firmly prioritizes her own needs and aspirations. This decisive move is being hailed by many as the best possible choice for the Newman heiress. Claire puts herself first. While the question of who Claire ultimately ends up with remains open-ended for YNR fans, Claire has made it abundantly clear that this is not her immediate concern. The journey she has endured, as Jack Abbott reminded a heartbroken Kyle, has been immense. Ripped from her true father and manipulated by her aunt, Claire has faced profound challenges. The love she has recently experienced from her reunited family and from Kyle is a new, perhaps overwhelming, sensation. Claire confided in Victoria that a fear of commitment might be at play, a feeling compounded by Kyle's manipulative scheme to expose Audra Charles, which betrayed Claire's trust. The power dynamic has shifted, placing the ball squarely in Claire's court. Her decision: to focus on herself, at least for now. When Holden pressed about where this left Kyle, Claire emphasized her focus on the present, not the future. For Claire, the present means moments like Holden taking her to a rooftop to admire the mountains and share laughter over photos. It's clear she has enjoyed her time in Los Angeles, but she recognizes the imperative to return to Genoa City. Her life there, her family, her burgeoning publishing business, and the navigation of her new normal awaits. This new normal is distinct from the life she had once envisioned with Kyle and Harrison. Holden's secret, a potential obstacle. During her time in LA, Claire made a point of visiting the shadow room, hoping to glean information about Audra from Sienna, much like Kyle's earlier attempts, though she found no answers. However, a chance encounter with Mitch Bacall alongside Holden sparked mutual concern. Holden admitted to a history of tension with Mitch, but Claire's primary concern revolved around the integrity of her friendship with Holden. Claire has established clear boundaries. Dishonesty is a deal-breaker, a lesson painfully learned from Kyle's betrayal. She is open to exploring her connection with Holden, but not if it involves deception. She directly asked Holden to open up to her, but their conversation was abruptly cut short by Nick Newman's arrival. Should Holden choose to reveal his secret past with Audra, whether fully or partially, it could significantly strengthen their bond. However, any evasion, downplaying of the truth, or continued avoidance of Claire's questions could spell the end of their nascent romance. Holden has clearly developed strong feelings, perhaps even deeper than Claire's. It would be a tragedy if their relationship were to falter due to his inability to be completely honest. For the moment, Claire is embracing a step-by-step approach to life, prioritizing her well-being and making choices that serve her own needs. Her clear boundaries regarding honesty and personal safety are commendable. While love often requires compromise, it should never come at the expense of one's fundamental sense of security within a relationship. Claire's choice to prioritize herself is indeed the right one. Today's next update. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Friday, November 7th. Claire faces Kyle's questions about Holden, Victor's secret move. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, November 7th, reveal that Claire Newman will face Kyle Abbott's questions about Holden Novak while Victor Newman plots a secret move. For starters, Victor will do some plotting in Friday's episode. Now that Victor has the AI program in his possession, he'll be strategic about how he moves forward with using it. Victor will want to be sneaky about the power play that's brewing against his foes. Of course, Victor's focus will be going after the Abbotts, but other enemies could get targeted along the way. Regardless, Victor will keep some secrets about the first blow he intends to strike. Jack Abbott, Diane Jenkins Abbott and Billy Abbott will have to deal with the fallout of Victor's actions soon enough. Kyle wants to help his family stand against Victor, but he'll take some time for a more personal matter on Friday's show. Thanks to Diane and Jack's nudge, Kyle will plan on flying back to Los Angeles and pouring his heart out to Claire there. However, Claire is already planning her return flight to Genoa City, so YNR's making it seem like they could miss each other. Fortunately, the Young and the Restless spoilers confirm Kyle will have a chance to quiz Claire on Friday, so their paths are going to collide after all. It won't be long until Kyle's questioning Claire about her visit to LA, which obviously included seeing a whole lot of Holden. Claire may seem uneasy and make some comments that lead Kyle to a tough realization. Will Kyle find out Claire got passionate with Holden during their time together? Claire might even admit Holden told her what really happened with Audra Charles, but she may not be willing to divulge that information to Kyle. Whatever the case, Claire may make it clear that she's not moving on with Holden, but she can't marry or live with Kyle like he wants either. Kyle is asking too much of Claire when she's not ready for that kind of commitment. Over with Kane Ashby, he'll push Lily Winters to her breaking point somehow. Lily will get fed up with Kane and blow up at him as a result, so he'll be discouraged over their latest setback. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Lily will have quite a meltdown, so stay tuned for updates on the difficult news ahead for Kane. Today's next update. Could Audra be Matt Clark's daughter on Young and the Restless? Is this the surprising connection between Audra and Matt aka Mitch? Matt Clark is back to cause trouble on the young and the restless. Naturally, he's terrorizing his rivals Nick and Sharon, and going after their son, Noah. But did Matt have some help in his plan from another Genoa city and former LA resident? Key takeaways. Matt is a longtime nemesis of Sharon and Nick. His recent return coincides with Noah's accident. Matt could have been targeting Noah for years with the help of Audra. Audra and Matt's connection could go deeper than anyone realizes. Targeting Noah. After 24 years, Matt Clark is back on YNR. After faking his death and leaving Genoa City, Matt moved to Los Angeles, where he's been working under the guise of Mitch Bacall. However, he hasn't forgotten about his longtime enemies Nick and Sharon. Matt is once again terrorizing Schick, and this time, he's included their son Noah in his plot. Noah was recently in a car accident, and chances are Matt was involved. But Matt might have been targeting Noah for a while with the help of Audra. Audra and Noah were once a couple, and he was left heartbroken by their split. Although they met in London, their relationship might have began in California. Audra used to be an LA resident and Noah made several trips to the area to discuss business with Mitch. Since Matt is connected to Audra's past, he could have used her as part of his plan to target Noah. With Audra being a sly woman, she wouldn't resist the opportunity to get her hooks into the Newman heir. Daddy dearest. It's been hinted that Audra and Matt/Mitch have a past. While many fans assume they're former acquaintances, Audra and Matt's connection might run much deeper. Speculation is that Matt is Audra's father. It's unknown what happened during the time that Matt left Genoa City and arrived in LA. During that period, he might have met Audra's mother, and when their relationship ended, he left with Audra. Little has been revealed about Audra's family except that she doesn't seem close to her parents because of her tough upbringing. If Matt is her father, it's understandable why Audra doesn't want anything to do with her dad. However, Audra is proving to be a chip off the old block with her scheming. Audra has a history of targeting men, including Noah and Kyle. Her behavior and manipulations have made her Genoa City's outcast. And if the truth about her parents is revealed, there's going to be more hatred for Miss Charles. Today's next update. The Young and the Restless spoilers week of November 10th, Kyle's jealous fury, Matt's manipulation, Kane's sad setback. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of November 10th to 14th reveal that Kyle Abbott's jealous fury will erupt while fans see more of Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall's manipulation. Kane Ashby also has a sad setback coming up, so here's what YNR fans can expect. After Kyle corners Claire Newman about her trip with Holden Novak, she may admit Holden came clean about his past with Audra Charles. If Claire protects Holden by refusing to spill his secret to Kyle, he may wonder just how close they got in Los Angeles. Claire may be on the verge of admitting she hit the sheets with Holden. If not, Kyle will probably figure it out anyway and fly into a rage. Kyle's fury is sure to erupt in the coming episodes, so he may lash out at Claire for letting Holden pull the wool over her eyes. Once Holden makes it back to town next, Kyle may blow up at him too and accuse him of taking advantage of Claire. While jealous Kyle tries to process all the new developments, Kane will struggle with a sad setback. After Lily Winters reaches her limit and has a major outburst, Kane will no doubt do some sulking. That could give Phyllis Summers an opportunity to swoop in and comfort Kane while still pushing his buttons. Kane may get under Phyllis's skin too as they keep playing whatever weird game they're playing at this point. Although Phyllis is lying to Kane about the AI program theft and her agreement with Victor Newman, she still seems attracted to Kane on some level. Kane can't trust Phyllis at all, but he's drawn to her as well, and that could lead to some spark-filled moments eventually. As for Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Tessa Porter, they'll deal with more flying sparks of their own. Tessa and Daniel will have a hard time keeping things in the friend zone despite Tessa's marriage to Mariah Copeland. Next, let's discuss Victor since he'll move forward with a sneaky plan. We'll see Victor launch an attack in enemy territory, so Kyle, Jack Abbott, Diane Jenkins Abbott and Billy Abbott had better be ready. Finally, Matt aka Mitch will live up to his reputation as a total creep. We'll see more of Matt's manipulation, so that'll mean bad news for Sienna Bacall, Sharon Newman, Nick Newman, Noah Newman and more. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of November 10th to 14th will bring plenty of excitement, so stick with us for updates on all the highs and lows. Today's next update. Audra's $500,000 secret exposed. That's not the only surprise on The Young and the Restless. YNR viewers finally found out who the real Audra is. On The Young and the Restless, November 5th, Claire finally got her wish. She found out what Audra's secret was and how Holden was involved. But that wasn't the surprising part of this storyline. Key takeaways. Holden wanted to be honest with Claire since they got intimate. He revealed Audra's secret, which comes with a hefty price tag. She stole $500,000. But that's not all that YNR viewers learned about Audra. The big secret revealed. On Wednesday's episode, Holden wanted to come clean with Claire about Audra. He wanted to be honest with her, as they had recently grown close. So, he finally shared what happened that night with Audra. She was with a man at the Shadow Room who ordered champagne for both of them. They were regulars at the club, and Holden took their order. Audra toasted to their collaboration. However, the man wanted to toast to the heiress herself. He was trying to get Audra drunk. She tried to escape, but the man wouldn't let her. Holden could tell that Audra was uncomfortable and informed the man that he was being overserved. The man grew angry. As the man was asked to leave, Audra snatched his wallet. Holden told Claire that Audra had returned it the following day. But she needed Holden's help. She was aware that Holden saw her take the wallet. She asked him to take it and to tell the man he found it at the bar. When the man returned, Holden gave him back the wallet. But the man exclaimed that $500,000 was missing. Take the money and run. Holden told Claire that Mitch promised him that Audra would pay for what happened. But she left LA with the money. He was surprised to see her in Genoa City, acting as if nothing had happened. Claire wanted to know the guy's name, but Holden wouldn't tell her. Audra sent him $100,000 as a thank you for that night. Holden kept the money. So if Audra's secret comes out, he's going down with her. They could both end up in trouble. Will the real Audra please stand up? But that's not the surprising part of this story. Audra's real name isn't Audra Charles. It's Audra Cortez. She changed her name after she stole the man's money. Also, Holden revealed that she was an artist in LA when he knew her. Now, she's become a corporate climber who keeps clawing her way up. Who knew that she had a penchant for painting? Nobody knows who the real Audra is, not even her ex, Nate. Will we finally get Audra's backstory on YNR? Today's next update. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Matt's fresh start, killed the real Mitch and stole identity? The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Matt Clark may have killed the real Mitch Bacall before he stole his identity. Is there a disturbing twist behind Matt's fresh start that'll ultimately be revealed? It's been confirmed that Roger Howarth is indeed playing Matt Clark, the old nemesis who caused so much chaos for Nick Newman and Sharon Newman for so many years. However, Matt clearly wants everyone to believe he's Mitch and that he's not associated with Matt's former life at all. According to Howarth's recent interview with the SOD, Matt even believes it himself in some twisted way. If a person is pretending to be another person, you kind of know everything about that person. Matt, on some level, really believes in the life that he has been living all these years as Mitch, Howarth said. Based on how Howarth phrased things, it makes it seem like Mitch really was another person once upon a time. It sounds like Mitch stepped into someone's identity instead of just making one up. Of course, if Matt is pretending to be Mitch, that leaves fans with the question of what happened to the real guy who went by that name. To highlight just how sinister Matt is, perhaps Y&R will reveal that he killed Mitch and stole his life from him at some point. Matt might have targeted someone who resembled him that wouldn't be missed and used this as his chance at a clean slate. Whether Mitch got on Matt's bad side or simply became a victim because of the new life Matt wanted, Matt is certainly the kind of guy who'd take fatal action like this. There's no limit to how low Matt will sink. The story of how Matt became Mitch may be deeply unsettling, so stay tuned for updates on any other news about this identity switch and how it all went down. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Matt will keep up his denial for a while and continue messing with the Newmans in the meantime. Today's next update. What really happens when Nathan Owens and Zuleika Silver film tense scenes on Y&R? On The Young and the Restless, Holden doesn't want to be around Audra, but behind the scenes, it's a different vibe between the co-stars. Holden is holding on to a big secret about Audra on The Young and the Restless. He's been dodging this secret while simultaneously avoiding her. As for his portrayer, Nathan Owens, he enjoys filming these scenes with his co-star Zuleika Silver. Key takeaways. Holden and Audra are keeping a secret about whatever happened in Los Angeles. The two rarely get along on the small screen. Meanwhile, Owens spilled BTS secrets about what it's really like to film with Zuleika Silver. Perfect partners. It's safe to say that Holden and Audra don't get along for whatever reason. He would rather keep his distance from her. But that's not the case for Owens. It's not as intense when they're filming their scenes together. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, Owens shared what the camaraderie is like between them. He spilled that they're always giggling, laughing, and having a good time. Unlike their on-screen alter egos, the actors get along well behind the scenes. To the extent that they collaborate on their scenes. So we're always quick to want to help each other out with running, lines, and stuff like that, too, Owens explained. The Day's alum offered up some praise for his co-star, calling Silver the ultimate professional. Unlike Audra, she's the type of person who always got your back as a scene partner. That's not the case for their characters. Owens was asked whether Holden would betray Audra by revealing their secret. He admitted that it would 100% happen. What's next for Holden? Y&R viewers want to know what kind of secret Holden is keeping about Audra. But there are also questions about what's next for him. He wants to make changes in his life, especially amid his blossoming romance with Claire. He hopes that this secret won't have to come to light, as his new love interest might view him differently. Owens admitted that Holden is highly concerned about this secret coming out. The truth could be damaging to both of their reputations. It could destroy everything that they've both been working so hard to build. After 3 years, Audra's secret could destroy friendships, love, and power in Genoa City. Like Owens, she's tried to move on from her past. However, her reputation has been called into question, especially when she destroyed Claire and Kyle's relationship after working with Victor. As for Holden, he hopes to be there to pick up the pieces. The two already shared a passionate night together, which could change everything when they return to Genoa City. For more of the latest updates and behind